any woman that is overweight. If you're coming to Miami to go clubbing,
oh yeah, Miami can be very superficial when it comes to the clubbing and nightlife scene, especially for Black women and women who don't really fit the Miami aesthetic.
Right at this club, this big club out here in Miami, and I had my little interview or whatever, and basically, so I go in, I have to go through fucking TSA. I'm talking about I scan a little They told me to scan this QR code, and like once you go into like the little website or whatever, you have to scan your face, scan your ID, then enter like your information, like your name, address, and email address, whatever. All right, cool. Then they take copies of my physical ID. Don't know why. Then ask questions. Then I have to sign a waiver saying basically like, okay, if you get killed or you get hurt, we ain't responsible. All right, anyway. So, talk to dude, whatever. And so basically after that, he's like, yeah, it's a no for me. Basically because, you're a little thicker than what we like. And you have stretch marks and that you have a lot of visible tattoos. All right, cool. I was okay with it's a no first, but you went into detail. I was like, wait a second, I ain't never had nobody tell me no shit like that, but it's cool. It's a majority white club, so I really wasn't banking on getting that job, but I was just like, fuck it, like, let me just go. So, and also too, like, I'm just like, the whole interviewing thing is not something for me. Like, I haven't been to an interview for a club in so long. Like, I've been working in the club for a while, and I only went to one interview. Any club that I worked at, I always knew somebody, or I always got put on, and I was just like able to work. So the whole little interview thing is like new for me. So yeah, I'm just like, the fuck? Okay. Yeah, so if you come into Miami and you want to work in these big clubs like 11, Mr. Jones, Live, and so forth, and you Black, please do not waste your time. You're not going to get hired unless you know somebody in there or you... And if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. I'm not, but more power to you. But yeah, like, if you Black, just stick to the urban clubs, like Booby Trap, The Office, any club in Fort Lauderdale, 24, whatever. Like, stick to those, because any of the big clubs you're not about to get in if you're Black. So, yeah, like, I just wanted to tell y'all my little experience or whatever, like, because I'm actually, like, shocked, like, the fuck? Miami really is, like, racist as hell. I don't even know if it's racist or them just being the colors, because it is a Black girl that do work there. I only have seen one Black girl, but she's, like, super, super skinny, but whatever. If you're trying to get in the clubs, don't waste your time.
Hypergamy and tattoos! So, for one, I'm not a big club goer. In my younger days, I've had similar experiences of trying to get into a club and knowing that they are looking for a certain demographic based upon the patrons that go there, and they want to keep it that way. Now, you can call it racist, colorist, but that's not the case, baby. It's all about who they're trying to cater to and what they want to see. And the BBL situation, as I've said in past videos, is more for broke men. It's not for the rich upscale gentlemen, if you will. Broke men like BBLs, broke women like BBLs. I've said this before. But in this case, my man had nothing to lose. He was just letting you know, if you're going to be in Miami, you need to have a certain aesthetic, or you just need to go over to those clubs that you just named. Now, she said, but he told her she was overweight, had tattoos and stretch marks. But she's an attractive woman from what I see here. And I'll probably throw it on the thumbnail when I make the thumbnail. I'll probably have a full body picture of her. But she's an attractive young lady. And like I said, she can get away with the tattoos, stretch marks, bullet wounds. I'm not saying she got bullet wounds, but all those other things, and BBL and thickness and all that there. But a lot of those clubs, they cater into that demographic. They're not going to tolerate that stuff. He probably saw the face initially, but didn't see the body. And for those of you watching, she's referring to actually working there. Now, actually trying to get in there too, they probably have those same standards if you're trying to get in there. They'll have a dress code, but I guess she was humbled. My man was savage with it. Atlanta, she could probably work at and she's from Atlanta from what I gather. She can work anywhere she wants to work. But that's just the nature of it, baby. Even here where I live at in Charleston, there's been a club here downtown that was accused of racism because they wanted a certain look in there, because most of the people who There's a certain demographic of people who patronize downtown. You're not going to see this huge black demographic down there or partying. So they try to keep it that way. Now, she was right. A lot of the women that white men desire, slim, size 2, big bust black women. On the lighter side sometimes, but darker skinned women too, as long as they're thin. When you start getting into the curvy black women that we all like, a lot of the brothers like, including myself, they're not really into that. They want a nice, thin, small, petite woman. But anyway, we got another video that I think is a promoter where he talks about this as well. Let's get into it. Let's go.
Or any woman that is overweight. If you're coming to Miami to go clubbing, please do not go to Venda.
Unfortunately, this is one of the most common problems in the nightlife. We are constantly trying to battle that by educating women what the nightlife is all about and what a guest list is all about as a party app that keeps women safe and helps them connect with 5-star promoters. Now, the best way to prevent this is to talk to your promoter and ask them what the club requirements are. Unfortunately, when you are on a guest list, a lot of these clubs let you in or don't based on your looks or the image that they are looking for. Promoters don't always talk about this and let a girl know because it's a touchy subject or they just don't want to talk about it. But if you talk about it and you're honest, it saves the girl the trouble, it saves her the embarrassment, and it saves her the time. So always talk to your promoter and look for a good promoter that's going to be honest.
There you go, for sure. Ladies, I think if you check a place out first before you even apply to it, I would advise you just don't want to apply to some random place. You check the place out first, and if it looks like she said, she only saw one other black girl. It was a predominantly white club, but I guess she still went for it. But we got another story here. We're going to finish this out with this one. Let's go.
Oh yeah, Miami can be very superficial when it comes to the clubbing and nightlife scene, especially for black women and women who don't really fit the Miami aesthetic. And I definitely acknowledge that I do have some kind of more like acceptable features and a leg up in like the scene, which is why my experience might be different from other black women. So I have made a lot of videos about Miami and I do get a lot of questions about discrimination, and I feel like I'm not the best person to answer those questions just because like I don't experience too much of that, but I have experienced it obviously. Like I've even heard from my promoters that are my friends that like, oh, like, you know, they love you and they let you in because you sound like this, you look like that, you're on like the smaller like petite side. Basically they're saying I don't fit like the stereotypical black girl aesthetic, which is honestly really sad and messed up when you think about it, because, you know, I have seen a lot of discrimination towards women of color, darker skinned women, and, you know, a lot of black women. Not just in the Miami clubbing scene, like it happens a lot of times, but I'll speak about the Miami scene. You know, I usually don't wear my hair in braids a lot. It has nothing to do with like any stereotypes, like it's just like my aesthetic and like the look I prefer for certain occasions. But when I did have braids one time, I noticed that, you know, they were a little bit more skeptical about letting me. This was like what, 7 years ago? But like because I knew the bouncer and the promoter, they like let me in, but I could tell like the other like promoters and bouncers that I didn't know, they were like, you know, just because I guess my braids maybe made me look too, you know, black. And even though I'm black, they're basically like, you're black enough, but not too black. You know what I'm saying? And it's just even messed up because it's like, I don't know why this stuff continues to happen. I just saw a girl's video saying that she experienced like some kind of discrimination at this club that I was just at not too long ago. And you can tell, like, you know, they pick and choose. If girls don't fit the aesthetic for the night, maybe they want only blonde girls. Maybe they want only girls with long straight hair. Maybe they want blah, blah, blah. Like, they will definitely deny you or like embarrass you. And it's honestly really messed up. I mean, like, I be like a lot of the times, but I also try and use promoters that I actually have a relationship with and that like would fight for me if anything were to happen. But yeah, this person's comment is true regarding the different types of discrimination. But even if I don't fit the aesthetic that experiences a lot more discrimination, like, you know, I still experience discrimination because I'm not like the aesthetic baddie standard here, you know, like I'm not white skinned with like a BBL thick voluptuous body. Like I'm more on the like girly pops side, you know. But anyone can experience discrimination here. Like Miami's a very superficial place. I would just say always have like a plan B, a backup plan. Try and go with promoters you trust, like, you know, check their ratings and try and go where your people are. Try and go where more of you, the people that look like you are, so you're less likely to encounter these issues. I mean, I hope that helped.
She's absolutely right. Go where you're celebrated. If you're not their type, that's just what it is. At the end of the day, guys, it all comes down to the almighty dollar. And if people are complaining and they want a certain type, just like if you went to a booty club, right? And there was women with no booty. you would complain and be like, oh, I'm not coming back here anymore. If you're in business, you have to cater to your demographic. And in this case, as she said, go where you're celebrated. If you know they like BBLs, you need to go to the place where they like BBLs. Anyway, guys, let me know what you guys think. Comment below. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Much blessings and abundance. Stick around for the next videos. It's going to pop up on the screen below. That's where I'm going to see you guys at. It's your favorite everything. This is Wisdom. Let's run it up to 1 million. Quit playing with me. Peace.